A rocket launch subjects the human body to crushing gravitational force. Minutes later, that pressure vanishes, replaced by the weightless disorientation of orbit. Space is an actively hostile environment. You cannot simply build a capsule around a passenger and hope for the best. To survive, the human body itself must be treated as a piece of hardware, a critical subsystem that is engineered to integrate perfectly with the spacecraft. This is the exact mandate of the Astronaut Center of China. It operates as both a medical research lab and an engineering facility. Over a grueling 4-year cycle, researchers here work to seamlessly merge flesh and blood with titanium and silicon. To prepare a Hangtown 1, or Space Navigator, trainers must force a deliberate structural adaptation of human physiological and psychological limits to withstand the demands of the void. The process starts with rigorous selection. Candidates are first filtered by strict dimensional limits. Next comes severe medical screening on centrifuges. Only those with a highly resilient vestibular system pass. Finally, they are sorted by expertise, requiring hundreds of flight hours or a doctorate. Looking at this testing capsule, you can see the physical hardening the selected candidates endure. Wired with monitors, they undergo sustained high-G centrifuge runs to ensure their brains continue functioning while blood is violently pulled from their heads. They also spend time in hypobaric vacuum chambers to experience rapid pressure drops and fly on modified transport jets that perform steep parabolic dives to simulate brief windows of absolute weightlessness. By pushing the body to these extreme parameters on Earth, engineers eliminate biological vulnerabilities that could compromise mechanical systems in orbit. Once the physical baseline is established, astronauts must learn to operate their vessel. Inside this dense Shenzhou reentry capsule simulator, crews spend months memorizing complex instrumentation and rehearsing every switch throw for launch, orbit, and return. To prepare for spacewalks, they train in a neutral buoyancy tank. Overcoming water's hydrodynamic drag and the suit's stiffness requires immense strength and deliberate coordination. A successful orbital mission requires the human body and the spacecraft hardware to function entirely as a single, synchronized operational unit. Hardware can fail, and spacecraft can drift off course during re-entry. To prepare for absolute worst-case scenarios, the training protocol introduces brutal fail-safe testing. In one drill, crews are dropped into the Badin Desert. They must crawl out of a mock re-entry pod and survive for 48 hours in extreme heat and freezing night temperatures, rationing a tiny supply of food and water. Recently, the program added a severe cave survival protocol in Chongqing's Wulong district, designed to simulate the isolation of future lunar missions. For 6 days, teams navigate treacherous underground terrain, enduring near-freezing temperatures, averaging 8 degrees, and a stifling 99% humidity. The true test here is psychological. The absolute darkness imposes severe sensory deprivation, and the crew is completely cut off from the comforting guidance of mission control. True mission readiness requires an astronaut's mind to remain sharp, functional, and resilient, even after the technology has stopped working. The result of this multi-year discipline is visible right here aboard the Tiangong space station. In this image, an astronaut smoothly floats and conducts research inside the bright, pristine, and fully operational orbital lab. The program has transitioned away from its early reliance on military test pilots, focused on surviving short orbital flights. Today, the crew includes medical professionals and engineers dedicated to conducting complex, long-term habitation experiments. The human payload has evolved into an active, critical scientific instrument in its own right. Now, the preparation cycle is shifting once again to target the nation's next major milestone, a crewed lunar landing by 2030. To meet the rigorous scientific demands of exploring the moon, the latest batch of candidates includes, for the first time, civilian payload specialists selected from Hong Kong and Macau. Their training curriculum is expanding to include maneuvering lunar rovers, conducting rapid geological surveys, and learning to walk and work under 1/6 of Earth's gravity. Placing humans on the lunar surface won't rely on inherent superpowers. It will be the result of relentless discipline and systematic science, engineering the human form to meet and conquer the hostile void.